This is the Big Ideas Theater at AARC. I'm Ed Highland. Thanks for joining us. And I'm joined now by Adam Mullally, who's with Mainline Health. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
We're talking about inhalers, inhaler effort in particular, too fast or too slow. First of all, can you kind of give us the overview, if you will?
Yeah, so inhaler effort is simply how fast or how slow a person inhales their medication through an inhaler device. And so we know that some of these inhalers require a slow and deep breath in. Some of these inhalers require a fast and deep breath in. And by measuring inhaler peak inspiratory flow rate, you're able to objectively evaluate that effort.
Now, could you describe the measuring and how you go about making sure you're getting the accurate levels that you need?
So we do this on all our COPD exacerbation patients in our hospital, and basically we determine what inhalers the patient's on at home. And then we use a simple device that allows us to simulate the intrinsic resistance of whatever inhaler they're on. And we just have them mimic exactly how they would take their inhaler at home, and it gives us a value that we can either coach to improve or determine that it's an acceptable value.
Now, how do you incorporate this in your day-to-day practice?
So pretty much every COPD patient who comes in, exacerbation pathway, it's built into our pathway. And so if they're on inhalers at home, we do this evaluation of inhaler peak inspiratory flow rate. And then if we notice that they're not doing it well, or they could use some coaching, we initiate coaching and teach back methods to improve the way they do their inhaler and determine that it's acceptable. And often we're able to get it easily into an acceptable range or an optimal range. Occasionally we have patients who fall into that inefficient or unacceptable range. And that's where we have to really kind of make recommendations to possibly change to a different inhaler with a different intrinsic resistance, or switch to a liquid nebulized version of an equivalent medication.
Yeah, I hear often compliance is a huge issue.
Yes. And this, I find, anecdotally, I think COPD patients in particular really want this objective data. It's a way to kind of interact with them in a way that really shows them that, yes, they're doing their medication appropriately, and I think that gives them confidence in their technique and makes them a little more content with their medication regimen.
What do you think is the next step, next generation, if you want to call it, in terms of patient care and making sure issues of compliance are dealt with as well as the effectiveness?
I mean, I'm hopeful that measuring inhaler peak inspiratory flow rate becomes just standard practice when you're evaluating someone's inhaler technique. I think it's important, and it provides some really objectable data that we can kind of work with. I think we really have to put in the effort to research this a little more and determine how measuring this effort and kind of coaching to optimize it impacts a patient's symptoms, how many exacerbations they have. Hopefully it'll be a future talk at Congress, hopefully a publication in respiratory care, because I think we need to know a bit more about this, but for now I think we should definitely be doing it.
Is the technology helping? I mean, is you getting to a point where you're getting the feedback from the equipment? Because you don't always get it from the patient.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think my recommendation to inhaler designers out there is to somehow incorporate some mechanism in the inhaler that tells the person using it that they did everything correctly. I think that's important, and they want that feedback so they know that they inhaled the medication right. They don't always feel anything when they're inhaling the medication, and I think some type of mechanism that shows them that, yeah, you did everything right, I think that's an important part of inhaler design.
Well, there's a patent just waiting for you.
Sounds good.
Adam, thank you so much for coming by and joining us.
Thank you very much.
This is the Big Ideas Theater at AARC. I'm Ed Highland. Thanks for joining us.